The PCI Compliance course contains 5 sections. Each section contains a video and may have practice questions. You must unlock each section to gain access to the final quiz. The final quiz contains 20 questions. You will have 3 attempts to score 80% or higher. The course takes about 45 minutes to complete. Select Section 1, Introduction to PCI, to get started. Convenience of connecting multiple devices, connecting more with family and friends, and being able to shop with virtual wallets is very appealing to most of us today. Others are also happy to see us more connected than ever, but they are more interested in the data we store on our devices, including virtual wallets, passwords to bank accounts, and much more. Each year there are more data breaches, and more well-known businesses become victims. The theft of personal data is occurring every single day around the world. Although hackers are the main culprits in uncovering this data, much too often, they were helped by human error. It is up to you to protect your personal data, as well as any other personal data you handle as you go about your work at Working Solutions. It is also up to you to make sure you know what you're up against. You probably have an idea about what and who a hacker is and what they might look like. However, you might want to rethink who is taking advantage of the large amount of personal data out there. There is a lot of money to be made by stealing credit card information and harvesting enough personal data to eventually steal someone's identity. There is a lot of hacking occurring in the backgrounds, and it is a prosperous business for many. People you would never imagine are involved. Remember, if there is money to be made in personal data theft, someone will be reaching into the ever-growing cache of your personal data. This course will cover a variety of topics, all of which are extremely important. Our goal is to assure you are fully aware of your part in protecting personal data, and to understand the convenience of connecting multiple devices, connecting more with family and friends, and being able to shop with virtual wallets is very appealing to most of us today. Others are also happy to see us more connected than ever, but they are more interested in the data we store on our devices, including virtual wallets, passwords to bank accounts, and much more. Each year there are more data breaches, and more well-known businesses become victims. The theft of personal data is occurring every single day around the world. Although hackers are the main culprits in uncovering this data, much too often, they were helped by human error. It is up to you to protect your personal data, as well as any other personal data you handle as you go about your work at Working Solutions. It is also up to you to make sure you know what you're up against. You probably have an idea about what and who a hacker is and what they might look like. However, you might want to rethink who is taking advantage of the large amount of personal data out there. There is a lot of money to be made by stealing credit card information and harvesting enough personal data to eventually steal someone's identity. There is a lot of hacking occurring in the backgrounds, and it is a prosperous business for many. People you would never imagine are involved. Remember, if there is money to be made in personal data theft, someone will be reaching into the ever-growing cache of your personal data. This course will cover a variety of topics, all of which are extremely important. Our goal is to assure you are fully aware of your part in protecting personal data, and to understand the methods that hackers may use to obtain your data. In the next section, you will review information and steps to assure there are no leaks, no exceptions, and no tolerance. We must safeguard all information for our clients, our fellow pros, the staff at Working Solutions, and ourselves. Once you have completed the following section, you should know how to identify what types of information you should protect, and know your role in the security cycle. Section 1 completed. Begin Section 2, Information Security and Privacy. Information security is more important now than ever before. Hackers used to want bragging rights to say they were able to get past this or that type of security system. They did not use it for much more, and some still use it as nothing more than a trophy of their skills. However, many are smarter, quicker, and were given an added incentive to get as much of this information as possible. Now they can make money finding ways around security measures, and they can make a lot of money if they're able to hack into the right type of system or company. If they can find the security weakness for a credit card company or a retail store, they have immediate access to thousands of credit card numbers and more. So, what is information privacy? Information privacy is the appropriate collection and handling of personal data. What is information security? Information security is the protection of non-public data from unauthorized access, use, modification, and/or destruction. Anything disrupting this protection is a security threat. Remember, hackers have changed their methods and reasonings to obtaining the data. You should only use collected information as needed, and only for the proper purpose. Working Solutions, along with our clients, take information security and privacy very seriously. We also know you will do everything you can to provide the needed protection of customer information. Working Solutions, along with our clients, use multi-factor desktop authentication, system audits, and require strict security adherence by everyone. Our clients trust us to ensure their customers' information is safe. The information we handle daily for our customers and clients should be protected, not just if there is a known threat, but as a general rule, we should take the stance that someone is always looking and might want the information we use to complete our daily tasks. Our goal is to protect the very information hackers are interested in. This includes names, addresses, email addresses, social security numbers, passport numbers, driver's license numbers, primary account numbers, and CVV codes. PII, or personal identifiable information, includes names, addresses, email addresses, and social security numbers, which can be used to identify, contact, or locate an individual. You will most commonly encounter EPII, known as Electronic Personal Identifiable Information. PFI, or Personal Financial Information, includes primary account numbers, credit card numbers, and CVV codes. Primary account numbers are the 14 to 16-digit account numbers located on the face of credit cards or debit cards. This code is also encrypted on a magnetic strip and the EMV chip. CVV code is a 3-digit number on the back of a Visa, MasterCard, and Discover branded credit or debit card. American Express branded cards have a 4-digit CVV on the front of the card. PFI can also be electronic and is referred to as Electronic Personal Financial Information or EPFI. PHI, or Personal Health Information, includes demographic information, medical histories, tests, labs, insurance, imaging such as X-rays, MRIs, and other data used and collected by healthcare professionals. PHI can also be electronic and is known as Electronic Personal Health Information or EPHI. Small pieces of information may seem harmless. However, it only takes a couple of pieces to determine an identity and use it for nefarious purposes. Keep it simple and only provide information when necessary. This is a matching question. Drag the terms on your right and drop them in the targets. Submit once ready. You have unlimited attempts. Section 2 completed. Begin Section 3, Workplace Security and Safe Computing. Securing your workplace when working from home is a combination of items an IT department would do in an office setting. Securing your physical workspace is much like using badges to enter an office building. Each of us should be cautious when providing our personal information to another person. This can be in a store, online, or over the phone. Our customers should understand we take the protection of their information as seriously as though it was our own. When you think about how often data breaches occur, it becomes clear these are not isolated events. Here are a few statistics. Over 19,000 data records can be lost or stolen in 5 minutes or less. That's about 230,000 records in just an hour. In the average 8-hour workday, over 1.8 million data records can be stolen.
Wow!
Data security should be a priority each and every day. Working Solutions and you can work together to slow the cycle. This is why it is important for you to learn how to properly protect and secure data. This will reduce the risk of breach within our organization. If you are unsure if data is properly protected, please reach out to your direct supervisor. If you are concerned about any of the following, or if a pro or employee reaches out to you and you are not sure what to do, or you accidentally sent an email with sensitive data, or you receive an email with sensitive data and should not have received it, or if you just have an uneasy feeling about a call you are on or you are listening to, please reach out to your supervisor immediately. Securing data in the workplace is extremely important. We want to assure information security is always on our mind. We are able to work from home because of the advances in technology. However, we do need to protect the electronic data we access each and every workday. Computers make our work much easier. Everything is readily available to us, and there is less paper to store and look through for the information we need. But easier does not mean that there are no security concerns. Let's examine how to practice safe computing each and every day. Wireless internet connections are rarely secure. Something to remember is that as long as your Wi-Fi is enabled, your computer will default to the trusted Wi-Fi connection. Even if you are also hardwired, your best option is to turn off your Wi-Fi before you log into work. Once a Wi-Fi network has been breached, emails and other sensitive data that is accessed while connected are easily viewed by a hacker. Knowing this, sensitive data should not be accessed while on Wi-Fi networks. If someone were to ask you today, what is the password to your Wi-Fi? What would you do? Hopefully, you won't give it out. However, most often, people would look in the paperwork given at the time the service was installed, or they would look on the router itself for the sticker with the password on it and provide the details. Changing the default password on your router or Wi-Fi on a regular basis is a great idea to help keep data safe. If someone is able to gain access to your Wi-Fi and router, every device connected to that network could be infected with malware, or files could be accessed without your knowledge. Knowing this, setting up a schedule to change your router and Wi-Fi password on a regular basis is recommended. Let's introduce some important terms. Wi-Fi interference. Connecting to Wi-Fi networks is common today, especially on cell phones and tablets. Wi-Fi used in our homes and offices can also be compromised. Protecting your data while using Wi-Fi is not often considered. Mobile devices can be compromised by man-in-the-middle attacks, or MITMs, where someone intercepts communications between two parties while using unsecured Wi-Fi networks. This is possible in airports, restaurants, and even hotels. Wi-Fi snooping. Did you know if your Wi-Fi router passwords are not changed regularly, you are opening yourself up to sneaking and/or snooping? In other words, hackers may gain access to everything you send from any device on your network, wired or wireless. This can be overcome by not only password protecting your network via router password, but also regular changes to the password for your router. In your Wi-Fi network, this will minimize the number of people who know your passwords at any given time. There are so many things we do on our devices. Phones, tablets and computers, and all of that can be put at risk if we do not take steps to secure our routers and Wi-Fi with passwords. Emailing information is a fast and convenient way to communicate with your fellow agents, customers, and staff. Before you send an email, it is best to determine what information should be included. Some things to think about are: does everyone receiving the email need the information in the email? Am I including sensitive data like social security numbers or credit card numbers? Do I have the correct email address? And would it be better to give them a quick call instead? Only send emails when necessary. Incoming emails can pose another risk. There are phishing emails sent to you from hackers, but look like they really did come from your bank, credit card company, or from within the organization. There are also those emails that just arrive out of the blue and ask for sensitive data. These are called spear phishing or social engineering emails. Another way hackers attempt to gain access to sensitive data is through smishing. Smishing is done via text message, by linking an email address with your phone number or gaining access via another method. Always verify who sent the email prior to sending what they want. Most companies with whom you do business will never ask for sensitive data via an email or text message, nor should those people with whom you interact with at work. Always verify who sent the request and make sure to adhere to data security. Let's go over some common terminology in this section. Phishing. Phishing is sending fraudulent emails pretending to be companies you trust. The goal is to trick you into giving out personal information, including but not limited to passwords and credit card information. Spear phishing. Similar to phishing, except it does not appear as though it is from your bank or other places with whom you conduct business. The goal is the same, to gain access to confidential information. Smishing. This is the fraudulent practice of sending text messages claiming to be from reputable companies. The goal is to induce the recipient into revealing personal information, just like phishing does via emails. Social engineering. Using outright deception to manipulate individuals into giving out confidential or personal information to be used for fraudulent purposes. It is also used to influence future development and behavior of society. Usernames and passwords are generated for each contractor and staff member. This is done for your security and the security of sensitive data. Working Solutions typically provides you with an option to store your usernames and passwords. You may receive access to one login or even a password vault option. Make sure to use those to store your credentials. This makes it easier for you when you work with multiple systems. Both one login and your password vault should be password protected, but you will only have to remember one password to access all of your other credentials. If someone asks to borrow your personal credentials because theirs are not working, you should let them know to get them reset by submitting a ticket to the IT department. Clients have certain systems with a shared login where sensitive data is not stored. This is the only exception to the rule of sharing credentials. The best passwords are not used for everything. If you use the same passwords for each system or even use same ones for social accounts, you run the risk of being hacked for all your accounts if there's a breach. Use passphrases. In other words, try using phrases instead of a simple password. Some examples include "I love vacations at the beach 24/7. Or, "Sometimes we sleep late for fun," but it's written in a way where you use uppercase, lowercase, symbols, numbers, and other combinations of characters to provide a greater depth of security for your password. Social media games may not be games at all. When asked questions about your favorite pet, favorite color, birthplace, or favorite vacation, you provide information to machine learning algorithms that begin to understand what you like, what you do, what your hobbies are, your interests, and it helps build an entire digital profile. Matching the answers to these questions to PFI, PHI, or in general PII, and you can be a potential victim of identity theft. If you write down your passwords, keep them out of sight. Instead of putting them on a sticky note or laying them on your desk, try using Password Keeper document or something like OneLogin that can be properly secured. Please do not leave them on your desk or on a sticky note stuck to your monitor. Working from home can be safe, however, please be aware of friends and family members that may have access to your computer. You should make sure to take some precautions. Keep your desktop clean. Lock filing cabinet drawers and shred any notes written on paper. An often overlooked strategy for data protection is locking your computer. The simple, yet effective practice can help you protect sensitive data. No matter where you are working, at the coffee shop or at the park, protecting sensitive data should always be on your mind. When someone hears you on a call or stands close to you while you access sensitive data, or even if they walk by you, you should be aware. Eavesdropping. This is an unauthorized real-time data collection of communications like phone calls and instant messages. This can occur in our offices or public places. Information is gathered then used for personal and financial gain. Shoulder surfing. This is when someone stands behind you or even sits beside you and watches your screen. This is a highly effective way to get PII in crowded places. These days, it's even easier because most people are on their phones everywhere and unfortunately are unaware of who's around them and what they are doing. Be aware of what is visible on your devices. If you must access sensitive data, attempt to find an area where the risk of shoulder surfing is minimal and impossible without you noticing. Working at home can be quite efficient and advantageous, however, there are times internet may lose connectivity, forcing you to work elsewhere, and you may access work emails while you are out running errands. Be sure to protect the data while you are outside your home office. While you are away from home, you may need to charge your phone. Did you know juice jacking is common in public places? Juice jacking is a cyber attack using the charging ports that often double as data connections and are connected via a USB. These attacks attempt to install malware on the device via the USB connection. It is highly suggested that you bring your own charging adapter and cord to use a standard outlet, rather than a central USB hub. Remember, targets can be operating systems like Apple's Mac OS or Microsoft's Windows. Browsers such as Firefox, Google Chrome, Safari, Opera can also be targets. Even the way we share documents through Microsoft Office Online, Google Docs and Adobe Reader can be targeted by hackers. There are many ways these systems can be compromised. These can be viruses, worms, Trojan horses, ransomware, spyware, and more. Let's explore what these different attacks mean and how we can protect against it. What is a virus? A virus is a computer program or code which is capable of copying itself and typically corrupts the computer or destroys data. Spyware. A software enabling a hacker to obtain information about someone's computer activities by transmitting the data from their hard drive, without their knowledge. Worm is a standalone computer program that replicates itself to spread to other computers or throughout a computer network. These rely on security failures to gain access to information on a computer or computer network. Trojan horse is a type of malware that is often disguised as legitimate software. Trojans can be employed by cyber thieves and hackers trying to gain access to user systems. Users are typically tricked by some form of social engineering into loading and executing Trojans on their system. Ransomware is a software specifically designed to block access to a computer system until a sum of money or some other type of payment is made. Drive-by. A drive-by refers to a lot of different situations, but most often it refers to visiting a website and without your knowledge, a virus or other malware is installed on your computer. Antivirus software is a software designed to destroy computer viruses as they are detected. There are paid and free versions. Staff computers will have antivirus software installed by the IT department. The different types of attacks and methods hackers use can be overwhelming. Stay vigilant while browsing online, be aware of your surroundings in public places, check the senders of your emails, and never give out personal identifiable information to anyone unless it is absolutely necessary. Implementing these practices will ensure the safety of your data. Section 3 completed. Begin Section 4, Information Security and Business Travel. Keeping information secure while traveling is a bit different than when we are working in our own home offices, but the need to keep private information secure is no different. There are distinct phases to be aware of before you leave. Traveling to the meeting, staying at the hotel, meeting with the client, traveling home from the meeting and settling back into your home office, the equipment you take with you must be protected. Most of us rarely travel without our phones and maybe even another device like a tablet. Each device we bring along with us needs to be safeguarded from hackers and other security threats. Preparing for your trip should include more than just packing a suitcase. Hackers look for the traveler who seems distracted and watch for their opening. You should remove unnecessary sensitive data. Make a backup of important data stored on the devices you are taking. Remove saved passwords and use one login, but be sure you do not have your initial login saved. While facial recognition and fingerprint logins are great, if you do not already have them, create strong passwords for the devices you are taking. Clear your browser cache files, and finally, disable Bluetooth, Wi-Fi auto connects, and file sharing between devices. This may seem like a lot of work, but if a device is lost or stolen, you will be glad you took the time to safeguard sensitive client, agent, company, and even your personal data. Flying is the quickest way to reach your destination. Travelers tend to be tired trying to multitask and are not always thinking about data security. Hackers have learned this is a great time to gain access to sensitive data. You need to be aware of the typical hacking techniques you might encounter. We all know we should take care of our suitcases and keep them safe, probably because TSA repeats warnings about your luggage and there are signs at most airports. However, while caught up in the crowds of an airport, data security is not the most important thing on our mind. Please be aware of the following situations while traveling to make sure you keep data safe. As you get ready to exit the taxi, Uber, or even the shuttle, make sure your devices are with you so you do not leave them behind. If you need to charge one or more of your devices while in the airport, please be aware that some of the charging stations may not be secure. Many times you will encounter one where it is not just charging your device, but also using a technique called juice jacking, previously mentioned in this course. It is usually better to use your own plug-in charger instead. Wi-Fi is often necessary when you travel and is available in airports, on some airplanes, and in the hotel, Airbnb, or other location where you will stay. If you are going to use public Wi-Fi, do not access sensitive data. Use a personal VPN and/or use multi-factor authentication. You can also use cellular data instead of public Wi-Fi if you must access sensitive data while traveling. Always follow data security protocols. We want to ensure sensitive data is protected at all times. Not only will this show our clients that Working Solutions takes data security seriously, but it will also show the clients that it is part of our culture to safeguard all sensitive data. Section 4 completed. Begin Section 5, Social Media Use. At Working Solutions, we understand that social media can be a fun and rewarding way to share your life and opinions with family, friends, and coworkers around the world. However, use of social media also presents certain risks and carries with it certain responsibilities. To assist you in making responsible decisions about your use of social media, we have established these guidelines for appropriate use of social media as it relates to your work here. In the rapidly expanding world of electronic communication, social media can mean many things. Social media includes all means of communicating or posting information or content of any sort on the internet. You are solely responsible for what you post online. Before creating online content, consider some of the risks and rewards that are involved. Inappropriate postings may include discriminatory remarks, harassment, threats of violence, or similar inappropriate or unlawful conduct and will not be tolerated. Keep in mind that any of your conduct that adversely affects your work, The work of fellow associates or otherwise adversely affects members, customers, suppliers, people who work on behalf of Working Solutions or Working Solutions' legitimate business interests, may result in contract cancellation for our contractors or disciplinary action up to and including termination for our employees. Keep in mind that you are more likely to resolve work-related complaints through direct communication than by posting complaints. Make sure you are always honest and accurate when posting information or news, and if you make a mistake, correct it quickly. Never post any information or rumors that you know to be false about Working Solutions, fellow associates, members, customers, suppliers, people working on behalf of Working Solutions or competitors. Refrain from using social media while working unless it is work-related as authorized by Working Solutions. Do not use Working Solutions email addresses to register on social networks, blogs, or other online tools utilized for personal use. Employees and contractors should not speak to the media on Working Solutions' behalf without contacting the marketing department. All media inquiries should be directed to them. If you have questions or need further guidance, please contact your talent team. You have now completed all sections. You may access the final quiz. You can also access all sections should you need to review.